Hello to everybody out there in AstroLada land. I'm Kesenya. Thank you for joining me for the Astro Weather Watch for this week. And we're looking at the 16th to the 23rd of November. Don't forget, I'm now offering live readings. You can book with me here at the AstroLada channel. Now, first up this week, we are having on the 17th of November, the Sun in a trine to Jupiter. Remember the old song, we'll sing in the sunshine, we'll laugh every day. I'm so glad I got through that. I planned to sing it, but my voice has been a bit funny for a while. So that song encompasses this energy. You know, it is happy, it is joyful, it is laughing every day. Jupiter is joviality. Well, maybe at some point on the 17th of November, we'll be in that vibe anyhow. We feel confident when these two big weights rumba together. We want to give generously with warmth and affection, and we may be very ready to lavish it upon our nearest and dearest. Now, for anyone with planets around these degrees that these two are interacting with, we can lap up this good fortune and potential for big opportunities that only comes our way with this transit every 12 years. So get ready for that one. Also on the 17th of November, the Sun will be in a trine to Saturn. So as you can see, there is a grand trine forming here. Very powerful, very blessed. Two arch enemies, Sun and Saturn, are trining, and this actually makes something of a truce. The arch enemies making a truce energetically in the sky, and what it does is it gifts we mere mortals with a feeling of groundedness and stability, at least momentarily, while that trine lasts. Saturn and the Sun are not friends in astrology, but the 17th of November, they do make a kindly nod to one another in the sky, so expect to be more efficient, productive, and to make steady progress along your life path. The wisdom of our elders is also invaluable, so if you're searching for answers, seek out somebody with more maturity. This is not a day for running off to AI to ask for the answers in life. Go to people with wisdom, experience, or more authority than you. You will be grateful for their hard-won knowledge and guidance. AI can't answer everything, my friends. I was recently looking at designing a tarot card on AI. My friends, AI cannot count, let me just say. Okay, 19th of November, Mercury goes into Scorpio. Here goes Mercury into Scorpio. What can we expect as he travels through the most intense of the water signs? Well, generally, we get a distaste for small talk and superficiality in our dialogues. Equally, we might become very passionate with our words. They have the power to manipulate others now for better or for worse. But this is, one of the good and very much needed components of this placement is the ability to see through lies and deception, though. The truth comes out while Mercury is in Scorpio, whether retrograde or direct. And this is not before time. So around the 19th of November, this is occurring. Expect to see from that point onwards a lot of truth being revealed, truth coming to the surface. Also on the 9th of November, Mercury will be in another trine to Neptune. We are really going to be in the zone of not only uncovering truth and revealing things that have been hidden sort of mistily, where we've been brainwashed, where we've been deceived. This is an energy for revealing that, but we can also become very creative. We move through life in this dreamy fashion. We get messages from spirit. So trust your intuition now. Trust that aha moment. Trust the goosebumps that show up on your body. They are speaking to you from the divine. Creative projects, as I said, can flourish. Your spiritual endeavors just blossom, and your imagination sprouts all sorts of new ideas. So enjoy this lovely energy. Also on the 19th, it's going to be a busy day, of November, Mercury is going to be opposite to Uranus again. Now, we've already had this back in the, I think it was either the latter days of October or early November. And because Mercury is retrograding, here it is again. This influence really can affect our nervous system and our mind with overdrive energy. We feel overwhelmed and shaky. So again, get the magnesium out to support you under this influence. Be careful of any contracts or deals that are being presented to you. Read the fine print, otherwise they might bite. Similarly, Electronics, like Mercury retrograde energy, is going to be amplified, like the energy of Mercury retrograde mucking with our electronics and our cars and our even electricity. It's amplified even worse when it's opposite to Uranus. So Mercury opposite Uranus in retrograde, oh my God, it's going to be Mercury retrograde on steroids. But what we can do is direct our thinking into fresh ideas, new concepts, alternative thought process. You might like to watch an alternative documentary or have conversations with people you wouldn't usually talk to. And you might just find that your perceptions are challenged in a really healthy way, which will liberate you in some capacity, set you free, and help you again to find your truth. Just keep the energy light and breezy and fun wherever you can under this influence. On the 20th of November, we have a new moon in Scorpio at 28 degrees, which I talk about in other videos. But this is happening, obviously, in opposition to Uranus, trine to Neptune, trine to Jupiter, trine to Saturn, sextile to Pluto, conjunct with Mercury. Oh my God, there's lots going on with this one. Hang on to your hat, my dear friends. On the 20th of November, the Sun conjuncts Mercury. Now, this is Mercury Cazimi, not when Mercury is direct and conjunct the Sun, okay? Only when Mercury is retrograde is it officially Cazimi. In Vedic astrology, it is otherwise called combust when Mercury is direct and conjunct the Sun. When retrograde, it is Cazimi. Well, are you taking a short trip? You're in the right energy space for it, be it a walk around the block or a sojourn in your neighbouring town. Movement at the time of Mercury Cazimi is a very good thing to do. You know, Mercury is before the king of the solar system on this day. It sits between the Earth and the Sun. So our thinking is pacey, adaptable. It's really, we're going hell for leather in our mind to the best possible advantage. And we want to gather information in, and the universe is going to be providing it. While Mercury is also retrograde, we can expect socialization with people from our past that should bring a smile to our lips. You know, we're going to revisit times past. We will recollect certain experiences we've had and ponder on them and perhaps change our perspective about them while Mercury is retrograde and Cazimi. And don't forget, as with all planets that go Cazimi, which is only Venus and Mercury, I might add, all planets that go Cazimi allow us the chance to present our request to the center of the solar system, the god of the solar system, the Sun. And so we can tell the Sun and the solar energy what it is that we need in our life, what it is we long for and need fulfillment with, particularly pertaining to the things Mercury rules in our natal chart. On the 21st of November, the Sun will be opposite Uranus. This is a once-a-year transit that can really stir us up. The Sun rules Leo, Uranus rules its opposite sign Aquarius in modern astrology. So these two big boys can behave very much like arch enemies at times. It's an energy of change, of shaking out of a rut, of epiphanies, of exciting new people and events. In that sense, it can act on us like a tonic if we've been just spinning our wheels in the mud and not getting anywhere. But don't get all comfy just yet. Your feeling of stuckness can actually lead to bursting out, sometimes inappropriately. So expect that your best laid plans could go a bit awry on the 21st of November. Chaos could be on the menu. Male authority figures could really behave erratically, and our rebellious attitude could somehow get the better of us if we're not careful. Note to self, act with caution under all circumstances on the 21st of November. And then on the same day, we're going to have the Sun in a trine to Neptune. Delightful. This is an energy for compassion, inspiration, and energetic gifts from the higher powers that be. We will be feeling more in the flow with life, and as such, we might encounter powerful people, especially men, wherever the Sun is concerned, who can bless our lives. Now, these can take the form of spiritual teachers, artists, musicians, and anyone in the healing professions. Your own creativity will be really on fire on the 21st of November as well, and there might be goosebump moments of great love for the life you're living. If you receive a message from Spirit, pay attention. Your soul's inner guidance is totally on point because of this energy, and you can trust yourself. Then on the 22nd of November, the Sun goes into Sagittarius. Shine, shine, shine. This is a special time for our Sagittarius friends, a period that marks the celebratory season for most of us in Western cultures. So there might be a spotlight on your faith under this influence, and your beliefs may need to take a step out from behind the curtain. Don't be afraid to share your opinions now. And with the playful, good-natured energy of what Sagittarius brings, your opinions might be more well received. Just be sure to avoid dogma and an overinflated opinion of what you think you know. Now, for some, travel may be on the cards, or at least in your mind, travel might be on the cards. So you could watch a documentary or go to an exotic restaurant and enjoy some other culture. It's definitely time for a little adventure in whatever way you want to embrace it. And finally, on the 23rd of November, we have Mercury trine to Jupiter. Isn't it time for some good news? And it might arrive on the 23rd of November, right on our doorstep, especially if we have any of the mutable signs strong in our chart. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, which are ruled by Mercury and Jupiter. This is a beautiful energy for engaging in group activities, communicating well with others, especially if we're teaching or facilitating. And if travel is on the cards, it will be enjoyable and hassle-free. Yay! Now, if you do have any legal matters to attend to, my friends, any contracts or proposals to sign, this day, the 23rd of November, is the day to do so. This energy can support a big positive picture outcome and ensure that you're also paying attention to the details as required as well. Now, because Saturn and Jupiter are in a bit of a trinal aspect, when we have another planet forming a grand trine with these two, it can be very empowering. And Mercury is trine to Saturn at the same time as he is trine to Jupiter. So thinking can get very serious now in the best of ways. If you require, or if you have projects that are going to require focus and concentration, then you're in the right space with this energy. Taxes, contracts, buying, selling, and big decision making are all worth addressing with this supportive energy. Anything requiring a formal commitment will also last the long term now. And Mercury, the planet of sociability, lets us create friendships that will similarly be both serious friendships, mature friendships, and long-lasting ones. Saturn's wisdom and mastery is also available to us in the most blessed of ways under this influence on the 23rd of November, and you might even develop important connections with your elders and wisdom keepers on this day, so don't be afraid to reach out if you need to speak to someone in a higher position of authority or in some sort of eldership role in your life. And that's what I see happening with this week in the Astro Weather Report. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you next week.